Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Average Joe's. Guess what? Today my stoke level is high because the weather is cooling off outside. That means it's fall, which means only one thing: delicious German food. Today we're going to heat things up in the kitchen. We're going to make a little bit of a German Rouladen. So it's a beef with bacon wrapped in there, with pickles wrapped in there, with onions, with a delicious sauce. It's really good. So come with me and we'll show you how. Prost. First things first, we got ourselves about 2.5 pounds of top round roast. We're going to try to find a way to cut this so that we can get into basically steaks. I did put it in the freezer to help it get a little bit firmer so it's a little bit easier to slice. We're going to try to get some nice slices, pound those thin, and that'll be the basis for the roulade. Okay, so when you clean up the roast a little bit, it's kind of got some funny shapes. Probably not the ideal roast that we wanted to get for this, but I think we can make it work. We're just going to try to cut it into sections that we can then pound thin that we're going to be able to roll up. So I think we're just going to call this guy a section right here. Pound that one thin. And okay, so we do have our various size steaks. I think, again, it would be easier if we had a different shape roast, but I think we're going to make this work. I think you could also, too, if you go to your butcher, you can probably ask for a specific cut or him to cut or them to cut these for you. Make it a little bit easier. But we're going to go ahead and start pounding these out, trying to get to about 8-ish inches long and about 4 or 5 inches wide, as uniform as we can so that we can roll that right up. So we'll just start pounding away. So I think we can go a little bit thinner. I think we're looking for a 1/4 inch to about an 1/8 inch thick. So we'll kind of keep getting it. Again, we want that to be a little bit longer so we can roll that up. Okay, so that's about the thickness we want. Again, we're just going to put our stuff in there and roll it up, kind of tuck it, tie it, and that'll be it when it's ready to go. But that's the about the thinness we're going to get. We'll just go ahead and keep pounding them. Next, we're going to, so we got the meat pounded out. Looks like it's going to be, we got some various sizes, and that's going to be okay. We're going to have some different size roulades. We're going to sear it and cook it for a long time, so it's going to be just fine. It'll just be interesting to see what sizes turn into what. But now for the insides, we need to matchstick some onions, cut them really thin. So these will go inside with the inside the rouladen, along with bacon and dill pickles and mustard. So we're going to cut that thin. Whatever we don't use in the rouladen, we can use in the sauce that we're going to make to go with it. And this is one whole tiny onion and a bunch of dill pickles. And we're just going to matchstick these as well, so they roll up. Okay, so we've got the meat ready to go. We're going to go with a little bit of salt to taste, a little bit of, pepper and salt. And then we're going to go with this delicious Polish style mustard, which is so good. Spread that around. It's amazing how many recipes call for mustard and how good it is and how much flavor it adds, I think. Then we're going to go bacon, and then we're going to go a sprinkle of onions. Spread those around a little bit. And then we're going to go some pickles. And now we're going to go ahead and give it our best shot. Roll this guy up. kind of tuck as you go a little bit so it kind of stays in there like a burrito best you can. There you go. We're going to end up tying that guy up with some twine, and we'll repeat. Tight, just hold it all together. Remember to cut this off before you serve it. There you go. There's one. Well, there it is. I mean, we got 2, 4, 6, 7 out of that roast. They're not all beautiful, but in their own way they are. So before we sear these, we're going to sear these in some avocado oil in a Dutch oven, and then we're going to go in the oven. But we're going to first rough chop some vegetables to make the sauce. So once we sear those, we're going to use the carrots, celery, onion. So I've got 3 celery, 2 onion, and about a half a dozen carrots. We're going to chop those up pretty coarse, and we're going to use that to clean up the pan after these are done searing. We're going to about a quarter cup of avocado oil, medium-high heat. Get that going until it starts to smoke a little bit. We'll sear those roulades. Okay, it's starting to shimmer and smoke a little bit. We're going to go ahead and put some of these guys in there, probably 4 at a time. You don't want to overcrowd them. Don't want them to cool that oil off and essentially steam them. Uh-oh. About 2 to 4 minutes on that side. Give them a good flip. Make sure they stay uncrowded. Okay, that should be good. Looks nice. All right, we'll get these guys out. And now we will put our veggies in there. Okay, so our carrots, celery, onions, parsley going in, and we'll let that start to work. Going in about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now that the veggies have been cooking for probably about 5 minutes, mix it in. Starting to work that frond up off the bottom of the pot. Really smells amazing. All right, we're gonna add a little bit of our 2020 Kirkland Signature Malbec in there. About a cup. Mix that around. That's going to help get that fond off the bottom of the pot. Ooh, it really smells good now. Okay, that wine is really starting to absorb into those veggies and turn into a gravy-like texture, thickening up. I was able to get some of that good fond off the bottom of the pot. Now we're going to go in with about 2 cups. I got 2.5 cups here. We'll start with about 2 cups of beef stock. And now with all of that added, since there's quite a bit of salt in the stock, we're going to taste it and see if we need to add salt and pepper. So we prefer a little bit more pepper flavor. We're going to go about 2 teaspoons of pepper. And probably could use some salt, so we're going to go a couple teaspoons of salt as well. Stir it up, give it another try. Okay, we got it flavored. It tastes really good. Now we're going to lay these roulades back in this gravy, and we're going to put it in the oven about 325 degrees for 2 hours. We're going to come back and check these out. Okay, so they're laid in there. They got the sauce. We're going to put a lid on these guys and put them in the oven. Again, 325, 2 hours. Maybe towards the end we'll pop the lid off. Oop. See you later. Okay, it's been 2 hours. We're going to go ahead and take this out. At an hour and a half, I did pull the lid off just to get a little bit of that moisture reduced, and it looks phenomenal. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get these guys out. They look phenomenal. And eventually we're going to snip those strings. We're going to set that aside. Okay, now we're going to strain the liquid off from all these delicious vegetables. So there's quite a bit of bacon grease in that sauce. We're going to use the old fat separator, kind of pour it in there. Let it sit for a second. That fat kind of congeal at the top, and then we'll drain that good stuff off on the bottom and work on our gravy. Alrighty, so we've got our fat layer on top. We're going to go ahead and drain that off. It looks like it's about 1.5 cups of stuff. We'll just get that back in the pan, and then we're going to reduce this by 1/3. And we're going to add butter and a little bit of plum jam for sweetness. Okay, so it's reduced down at least 1/3. We're going to go ahead and drop in a tablespoon of butter, as well as a tablespoon of plum jam. And then we're going to let that cook. And then we're going to taste it and see what we need to add. If we need to add salt, pepper, anything else. Okay, here we go. The big reveal. So slice into that. See how it looks. Looks pretty good. So you got the pickles, the onions, the bacon, the beef wrapped around. We're going to try a little bit of this gravy on there. Sauce. Oh yeah, that's going to be the stuff. Get a little bite-sized piece. Some of that sauce. Oh man. Wow, that beef got super tender. You can still taste all that Polish mustard on there. The pickles and onions and the bacon. That's ridiculous. So, wow. Rouladen for the win. But remember, sometimes average is good enough.